Hello, everyone. I'm Ruchi Bhatia, and today I'm excited to share how Kaggle became a pivotal part of my career journey and why it's such a powerful tool for anyone who's looking to accelerate their career in AI. A bit about me: I recently graduated from Carnegie Mellon University, and I'm currently a product marketing manager for data science and AI products at HP. I am also known in the Kaggle community as the youngest triple Kaggle grandmaster. To start, I want to provide a high level look at my career path and how Kaggle played an essential role in shaping it. Every Kaggle milestone, from datasets to notebooks to discussions, influenced my career, whether it was by opening up opportunities or even in terms of how I was learning and picking up on the skill set that I have today. But before we get started, let's talk a little bit about what Kaggle really is. It's a platform for data science and machine learning professionals to compete, collaborate, and learn. You can share, stress test, and stay up to date with all the latest ML techniques and technologies through this platform. Additionally, it has a huge repository of community based and community published models, data, and code that can be helpful for your next data science project. Let's go into how I started on Kaggle and what I've learned along the way. Your Kaggle profile serves as a comprehensive data science portfolio, but it's unlike anything traditional. As a subsidiary of Google and the world's largest data science community, Kaggle brings a lot of credibility and visibility for your work. So when you showcase your projects here, you're displaying them on a trusted global platform that speaks directly to the data science community. Think about what happens when you talk about your projects on your resume. You will probably list it out in three bullets and talk about the impact, but and hope that the employer can trust what you have put on there is actually real. But when it comes to Kaggle, it transforms the entire process completely. Your employers and recruiters don't just read about the work that you have, but they can actually dive into the code, your thought process if you're actually writing out the discussion threads, and they can really see your problem solving skills in action. It's the difference between telling someone that you're able to solve a complex problem versus them actually watching how you can solve it. So, not only that, but through this, you can also sort of see the progression someone has had over time of your skills, the depth of your thinking, again, if you're writing out discussion posts and contributing code notebooks, and your ability to collaborate within a global community. I was fresh out of my computer engineering degree back in 2020, looking for a direction in my career when I first stumbled upon the platform. And my first contribution to the platform was actually a data set. This was back in the pandemic days, obviously, when everyone was consuming entertainment content very differently. I noticed that people were watching a lot of movies and TV shows and binging a lot. And that's what led me to create my first ever data set, which was a collection of movies and TV shows on different platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, and others. And it really resonated well within the community. That is something I did not expect. I really think the timing of this data set was perfect at the time. And that led me to the desire of wanting to create more data sets that were helpful for the community, picking up on trends. And I developed a keen sense for what kind of trends a community or what kind of data sets a community was looking for. And I zeroed in on topics that would spark their interest. I ensured that every data set that I was uploading was of high quality, meaning the data that I was putting in, I was ensuring that there's as minimal missing data as possible. The rows and columns of the data set make sense. That is something that they can get value out of. And I really also prioritized the accessibility piece, writing clear documentation, and also organizing this data in a very thoughtful manner. These things really help me to build on a reputation for reliable and useful contributions. And as my confidence grew over time, I decided to finally venture into the notebook section. And my approach was very systematic. Either I would choose a data set of my own if a data set that that's something that I had built out by myself. And at that time, my approach would be to explain how someone who's coming across this data set can create a project out of it. Like, for example, if it was the movies and TV shows data set, how could they use that data better? How could they get an analysis out of it? Or if not, I would go in and choose a very interesting data set and craft an EDA notebook out of it that would reveal the insights that I have picked up or something that I could uncover by looking at the data. And over time, my code became a lot cleaner compared to when I had first started out. The community feedback was so helpful, not just in terms of how things can be done better, but if something was missing, they would even suggest or point out that maybe this could be another add on, or this is something that's not there, and this is something that can be done better. And I could really see my growth in terms of the skill set that I had picked up over time. It also helped me to explain things in a very simple manner. So if it is a complex concept, I would try to break it down so that if it was somebody who's coming in new and they have no idea about this topic, they would be able to understand that concept better. The competition space seemed a little intimidating when I first started out as a beginner because it wasn't just people with the same level of expertise as me, but PhDs and industry experts. But I really tried to turn this into inspiration once I was actively contributing to the platform and I was a part of the community. The community, again, it's one of the best parts of Kaggle. It's very uplifting. Everyone is super helpful and very keen on discussing new and novel ideas. And each competition actually taught me real world problem solving at the highest level. This is not something you can find in courses or books, but actual hands on learning that someone can pick up if they are, again, part of the community. I also used to study how experts are approaching different competitions. They do write ups at the end of competitions, and it's really interesting to see how everyone's approach is different in some way or another, but they get the best results. And sometimes it really is new, something new that you probably wouldn't have thought of at all. And they would approach these challenges in very interesting ways. And I would learn so much more about how different techniques can be applied in different scenarios to get better results. I was also contributing to the discussion threads from my early days on Kaggle, and I would do this by sharing my insights on a competition I took part in, or if it was a notebook and I discovered something interesting, or it could even be a new technology that I have come across and I would want to discuss that with the community. And this also helped me to connect with experts who I looked up to and peers in my network, some folks who were as early on in their careers as me. And this really helped me to grow and build my community. Over time, I even made friends on the platform, some of which I still talk to today. I guided newcomers through familiar challenges that I had faced when I first started out in the data science field, and my reputation organically grew through consistent contributions in the field. And throughout this journey, I discovered that success in the data science community is more than just the technical expertise you have. You work with so many folks who come from different walks of life. It's not necessarily someone with a computer science background, but they could have different backgrounds, and then everyone comes in together to solve a problem. You learn to talk about your technical expertise in a way that you communicated best to an audience that, again, comes from different walks of life. And it's a skill that definitely all data scientists should practice and build on. I would also document my thought process on Kaggle, including both failures and new things that I was learning along the way. And I amplified this impact across different platforms. I would talk about quick insights and AI discussions on Twitter. And on LinkedIn, I would talk about detailed Kaggle achievements or projects that I was working on. And this multi platform approach created a very strong feedback loop. Recruiters would learn about what I'm up to on Kaggle through my posts about my achievements and projects, and peers could discuss and reach out to me through Twitter on the basis of the discussion threads that I was starting there as well. But what changed the game was consistency. Back in 2021, I made a very bold commitment to contribute to the platform for 365 days in a row. And this wasn't just about maintaining a streak. Every day I showed up on Kaggle, whether it was participating in a competition, working on a notebook, publishing a data set, or even just commenting on a discussion post. And this practice of doing doing something in the data science community or for the data science community every day helped me to learn so many new things and new techniques that I probably wouldn't have if I hadn't committed to a goal of learning something new or working on something that I had started um, in the previous week or in the previous month and things like that. And it would have normally taken me a lot of time to learn those similar things and probably months or even years. But having that goal in mind really helped me to zero in and work on the different skill set that I wanted to develop. I shared significant milestones and key learnings on social media, and each post that I made became a successful building block for my personal brand. And the impact really surprised me. Recruiters were reaching out directly, data scientists were reaching out in terms of collaborating on projects or taking part in Kaggle competitions together. And this year of consistency taught me something very valuable. Showing up daily to learn and sharing your meaningful progress, again, it creates a lot of opportunities compared to sporadic bursts of wanting to work on an idea. My journey took its first significant turn when I became a datasets grandmaster on Kaggle. And the impact was immediate. HP noticed my work and they invited me to join an exclusive program that was being run by HP and NVIDIA at the time. I was a data science global ambassador for them. And I was one of the 16 people that they had reached out to at the time. It was a very selective program. And it really was a tremendous honor for someone who was just early on in their career. And it was also the start of many exciting opportunities that would come along the way. The University of Oxford did invite me that year as well to come speak about my journey. And I was interviewed by Analytics Vidya for, again, the story of how I became a grandmaster. And these opportunities showed me how Kaggle achievements could translate into real world recognition. With continued contributions on Kaggle, I became a Notebooks Grandmaster in 2021. And this milestone opened doors to impactful projects and a leadership role at OpenMind. I immediately dove into high impact projects as a lead data scientist, and my Kaggle experience had equipped me perfectly for this role. I worked on a research project with Twitter, creating synthetic data to study political content amplification, and was also chairing meetings with OpenMind and the United Nations to impact the global audience on privacy. During this period, Analytics India magazine featured my journey. I spoke at both Applied ML Summit and Google Cloud Next that year. But one of my proudest moments was seeing my interview published in the Kaggle book, which is a book by Kagglers for Kagglers. And this really helped me to solidify my presence in the AI community. Becoming a triple Kaggle grandmaster was incredible, but that meant what meant even more was being able to give back to the community as a mentor for the program that Kaggle X was hosting that year, where I could guide others in their data science journey. Most recently, I also had the opportunity to speak at Google Cloud Next in Las Vegas. And let me tell you, it was awesome to meet fellow Kagglers and also folks from the Kaggle team. It was absolutely amazing. Kaggle has played a major role in my career, and I believe it can for you as well if you're willing to invest the time. The formula is very simple yet powerful. Learn consistently, be generous with what you're sharing, and engage authentically with the data science community. I've shared my data science journey with you today because I believe that you can build your own success story with Kaggle. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up your career, this platform offers all the tools and community support that you need to turn your dreams into reality. Here are some resources that can be helpful for you. I'd love to support your journey, and you can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks for tuning in today.